With 2.1 slowly approaching, Phoebe, the new Spectro DPS Resonator is arriving as well. Being the first dot resonator in the game, she holds a lot of value. I will be going over her kit, rotation, best weapons, echoes, team synergies, and sequences. To understand how Phoebe works, there are 3 main mechanics you need to know about. First is the Ring of Mirrors. The ring is summoned using Phoebe's resonance skill that causes targets to be immobilized. Using skill again will let Phoebe teleport to the ring, but the ring only covers a small area. Additionally, there can only be 1 ring on the field at a time. So before using the ring, make sure to have most of the enemies close together. Once the ring is summoned, Phoebe has 2 options. If she uses basic attack or a dodge counter to hit the ring from the outside, then the enemies inside the ring will be pulled to the center and take damage. On the other hand, if Phoebe is inside the ring, then her basic attack and dodge counter will be enhanced. Now let's move on to the other 2 mechanics. Prayer and Divine Voice are the 2 fortes that Phoebe has. Prayer is Phoebe's normal forte, which is automatically generated every second. Divine Voice is the forte obtained on casting these skills that put Phoebe in one of her enhanced states. To cast either of these skills, Phoebe's prayer should be full and her Divine Voice should be 0. Holding basic attack will cast Absolution Litany and put Phoebe in Absolution mode. To enter Confession, Phoebe should hold Resonance skill to activate Utter Confession. Both of these attacks will apply 1 stack of Spectro-Frazzle to the target. But it is important to note that Phoebe can only enter 1 enhanced state at a time. Absolution lets Phoebe deal more damage, while Confession exploits Spectro-Frazzle to deal damage. Once Phoebe is in Absolution or Confession, she will have 60 Divine Voice at her disposal. With Divine Voice, if Phoebe casts Stage 3 of basic attack or a dodge counter, then Starflash will be available. Starflash is an enhanced heavy attack that consumes 30 Divine Voice for each use. But this cost can be reduced to 15 Divine Voice if Phoebe is in Absolution state. Additionally, Starflash's damage will be amplified for enemies with Spectro-Frazzle. In Confession, Starflash will apply 5 more stacks of Spectro-Frazzle to enemies. Starflash is not the only skill that receives buffs in Phoebe's enhanced modes. Phoebe's Resonance Liberation receives buffs similar to that of Starflash. But using her outro in Confession grants the on-field resonator a buff called Silent Prayer. Silent Prayer amplifies the damage dealt and extends the duration of Spectro-Frazzle. It also reduces enemies' resistance to Spectro damage. Lastly, Phoebe's inherent skills provide Spectro damage bonus and give 1 extra use of mid-air heavy attack. This skill lets Phoebe fly for a while using her staff. Following this up with the flight utility in Renacida can let her fly from literally anywhere. Now that we are done with Phoebe's kit, let's go over her rotation. Her rotation is quite simple. The first half of her rotation lasts for 24 seconds where Phoebe collects prayer. During this time, you can either use Phoebe to deal damage using the Ring of Mirrors or just play with the other resonators on the team. Once Phoebe has max prayer, she will enter Absolution or Confession by using the respective enhanced skill. She will then activate and use Starflash until her Divine Voice runs out. Phoebe can then follow this up with Liberation and end it with Outro. Do keep in mind that the number of uses of Starflash depends on which mode Phoebe is in. Let's start the weapons section with Phoebe's signature. It provides basic and heavy attack damage bonus when dealing damage to enemies with Spectro-Frazzle. This is very useful as these are the 3 major ways through which Phoebe deals damage. The Spectro-Frazzle damage dealt to enemies will also be amplified on using Outro. Stringmaster is going to be your next option. In my opinion, this is one of the best weapons in the game. But the coordinated attack buff that Stringmaster provides is useless for Phoebe. Cosmic Ripples is a decent alternative as well. Since Spectro-Frazzle is considered as a negative status effect, the new Craftable Rectifier is a very good fit for Phoebe. This Craftable Rectifier is all you need, so there isn't really a need to look for any more weapons. Moving on to Echoes, the Eternal Radiance is going to be Phoebe's best set. This set increases crit rate and provides Spectro damage bonus when dealing with Spectro-Frazzle inflicted enemies. This set combined with the Nightmare Morning Ikes makes a perfect match for Phoebe. Phoebe is a DPS, so her Echo stats are going to be the same as any other DPS. As for Phoebe's teams, Spectro Rover is currently her best teammate. Spectro Rover is the only resonator apart from Phoebe who can inflict Spectro-Frazzle to enemies. Additionally, Rover's Forte Resonance skill will give the Shimmer effect, which reduces the Spectro-Frazzle stacks from reducing over time. So, the 2 of them will make it a very good team. Teammates like Sanhua, Rosia, and Mortify that buff basic and heavy attack damage have decent synergy with Phoebe as well. According to the leaks, Zani is said to be the best teammate for Phoebe, but take this with a pinch of salt as nothing is confirmed. Lastly, it's time to go over her sequences. Her first two sequences enhance Liberation and Outro respectively. The buffs that these skills receive in Absolution or Confession are enhanced as well. S3 increases Starflash's damage multiplier, while S4 and S5 help Phoebe deal more damage. S6 enhances the Ring of Mirrors. Normally, the ring would only immobilize enemies that are inside the ring. But with S6, enemies entering the ring will also be immobilized. Summoning the ring in Absolution or Confession will trigger an extra use of Starflash. So, is Phoebe really worth pulling for? Phoebe holds a ton of value as she is the first limited dot resonator. She has a flexible rotation, requires less field time, and can deal a lot of damage. Overall, Phoebe is an amazing DPS that will provide immense value to your account.